invaders, a Muwerg, Teach a Ketra, and an unknown. Chapter 4. Stratus and Pulse, Coronado National Forest, Arizona, United States, Upper Atmosphere, Earth. A monstrous creature spanning the size of a large mountain range sweeps through Earth's upper atmosphere. It travels at unprecedented speeds, causing malevolent windstorms as invaders rain to the surface. The creature is so large it can be seen from 100 miles away. A large passenger plane encounters torrential and turbulent winds when they flew through the creature's slipstream. What the pilots report is described as nightmarish and horrific. They fail horribly in articulating the creature's actual size. The craft appears to be an organic machine hybrid, larger than a mountain ridge. The gargantuan creature can be seen from hundreds of miles away. Its fin span is casting a shadow across the Earth's northern hemisphere. The creature is spraying pods of alien attackers across the planet. The video streams live across the IQ Matrix network. Pulse and Stratus decide to run point and attack the creature directly. After Shift is dropped on the coast of New Zealand, Pulse and Stratus teleport across the planet, miles ahead of the creature's path. The Muwerg is only seconds away from their position. Pulse and Stratus levitate as each prepares to engage the creature. Hearing and seeing are entirely two different things. On Earth, those are wise words to live by. As the creature approaches Stratus and Pulse, they are speechless at the sight of the massive creature. Stratus is first to recover from the mountainous view. This isn't something you see every day. The creature moves through the sky like an eel through water. A massively gigantic eel, a Long Island-sized eel, yet it still moves like an eel, Stratus says in a jokingly but I can't make this up voice. I've never seen anything like it before, Pulse responds subconsciously aloud, bracing for the creature's slipstream. Insectoid warriors litter the sky as the Muwerg approaches their position. Thousands of invaders are propelled across the skies of America. The Muwerg is so massive that it generates a small gravitational pull and isn't even aware of the hero's presence. As Stratus lands on the creature's head, Pulse attempts to crash the creature with a massive white noise discharge. Maybe you didn't notice your love tap, Stratus jokingly says as he manipulates the gases in the upper atmosphere, saturating the creature's antenna in a concentrated discharge of acidic ethanol. So you were saying? Pulse replies as he discharges another blast of EM energy. The hull of the Muwerg is extremely dense, too thick for them both to breach. They give it everything they have, even their combined efforts barely leave a scratch. Plated panels begin to open and release hordes of monstrous insect warriors, each discharging -0-based energy weapons. Pulse and Stratus learn quickly the enemy's artillery burns their exoskeletons. They each fight the advancing Bacrata. Pulse discharges mega streams of energy that rips through the advancing hordes. As alien body parts litter the sky, Stratus decimates the hordes with dynamic gel shrapnel, flaying the enemy where they stand. The Muwerg continues moving around the planet faster than the heroes can mow them down. Pulse and Stratus know that something needs to be done. They can't allow the creatures to get a foothold on the planet. The Muwerg has already released tens of thousands of warriors across the planet. I'll be right back. Just received a message from Intech. You can handle this for a few minutes, right? Pulse asks Stratus before he vanishes, not waiting for confirmation. Stratus continues to discharge shards of dynamic gel, barely keeping the horde at bay. When the Galaxians begin to climb from the panels, things appear to take a turn for the worse. The Bacrata viciously attack without fear and with hunger in their eyes. Stratus has to change his strategy to sufficiently diminish the enemy's numbers. Stratus finds cover behind the monstrous antenna of the Muwerg. A vision of Mr. Yazir shooting him flashes in his thoughts. He's clueless to why he's thinking of him. He recalls the bullet ripping through his flesh. For the briefest of moments, he believes himself dead. Then the unbelievable happens. The Vapor saves his life by transporting him to another dimension. The thought of being shot by someone he looked up to, the betrayal, practically sends Stratus over the edge. He decides to give in to the rage, living the moment of betrayal over and over again in his mind. Reaching deep down inside himself, Stratus unlocks his most deadly discharge. He unleashes his ultimate attack, the Dry Burn Burst. The discharge erupts outwardly like a plasma-like bubble of sub-zero vapors. The bubble expands over a mile in diameter, saturating all it encounters in 3,000 degrees molecules. Only the Galaxians continue to move and remain unaffected. The horde of warriors are instantly frozen where they stand. When the monstrous Muwerg trembles from the discharge, the Bakrata warriors shatter like glass and are blown into the creature's slipstream. A discharge of this magnitude will leave Stratus momentarily low on energy. As 3 Galaxians approach his position, help arrives in the form of Ember and Adam. "Hey, you!" Ember says as she drops Adam onto the Muwerg. Stratus smiles at his fellow teammates and replies, "And I thought this was about to get messy." Ember playfully replies as Adam deniingly watches the two making jokes. "Oh, it's about to get messy," Ember responds with a smirk on her face. Ember, Adam, and Isida, United Nations SCIF, New York, United States, Earth. Personnel working in the SCIF normally have dull days, but today is entirely different. The infamous enhanced human known as Ember is standing in their office. Most of the workers are immediately on alert. She is reported to have killed nearly 70 people. She has been exonerated by the UNHQ. There will be no legal actions taken. As an intelligence agent begins the process, Adam recalls his time in the military. It's been a few years since he worked in an SCIF. He and Ember are cross-examined multiple times by several agents about their lives on Earth. The vetting process is brutal. The government needs every minuscule event in a person's life. You would think that they were running for president, Adam thinks to himself. While the heroes complete the security interrogations, an alarm rings out across the UNHQ facility. "The aliens are invading! The invasion is happening right now!" A young lady hysterically shouts in the hallway. She interrupts Adam and Ember's interrogation. They both race outside of the SCIF. Ember immediately reacts and discharges blasts of liquid fire. Adam momentarily pauses as the aliens rain from the sky. The chaos on the streets is apocalyptic. People race through the streets scrambling for cover. Individuals wearing impact armor remain invisible to the enemy and can only be detected by revealing their locations. For those not armed with impact armor, they are horribly and viciously ripped apart and consumed. There is no place for citizens to hide. The invaders are equipped to forage for people. Ember takes to the sky, unleashing fiery discharges of alpha blasts. Enemy combatants are critically wounded by her power. She decimates the Bakrata forces. Melting body parts continue to burn as they fall to Earth. While discussing strategy with Isida, Adam is overtaken by a swarm of enemy invaders. He screams out in terror as the enemy savagely bite and gnaw at his body. "Adam! Adam! Adam!" Isida attempts to reach him, but he is too far gone. He instinctively reacts out of self-preservation, unleashing massive discharges of atomic energy, instantly turning anything it strikes into ash. In his haste to protect himself, Adam nearly destroys the UNHQ Plaza, UNICEF. To make matters worse, he almost strikes Ember in the process. "Adam, you have discharged massive quantities of atomic energy into the populated structures." "I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. Those things, they were trying to eat me." "Relax, Adam, and calm yourself. There will be time to experience shock later. Now is the time for a tactical counterstrike. The Earth still needs you to fight, so this world may survive another day. There are invaders approaching from above. I recommend you reduce your discharge output to 1.2%. That should be sufficient to neutralize standard enemy combatants. Intech has sent instructions to destroy the alien anomaly. It is known as a Muwerg." "What is a Muwerg?" While Isida briefs Adam with the details of a Muwerg, he discharges less powerful blasts into the enemy. Isida shares the incoming details from Intech. He needs Adam and Ember at the Muwerg. It is the alien spacecraft and bulk of their forces. Once Adam informs Ember of Intech's orders, she takes off into the sky and he has to call her back. When he tells her he can't fly, she simply shakes her head. Ember grabs Adam from behind and blasts off into the sky. He screams until she levels out. "Are you sure you got me?" he yells to Ember. He's had a fear of heights since he was a child. "Yes, and please stop screaming in my ears." It takes Isida several minutes to calm Adam before Ember is able to increase speed. Isida informs him of key intel and tactical strategies for discharging outputs. While he delivers with extreme prejudice, Ember pours on the speed. Once an enemy is struck by Adam's fusion blast, their molecules lose cohesion and dematerialize, turning into ash. "That's a wicked power you've got, but I like the results." "Oh, and will it work on that?" Ember tauntingly jokes to Adam. He responds with a voice in denial. "Is that a flying mountain?" As Ember overtakes the Muwerg, Adam continues to destroy more of the enemy. He is extremely accurate with Isida's aid. Ember feels a discharge coming from the Muwerg. "Did you sense that?" Yeah, I did. It's Stratus's energy signature, Adam answers as he continues to destroy enemy invaders. Are you sure? Isita momentarily appears in her holographic form next to Ember. I'm positive, Ember. Now please, hurry. Ember approaches from the rear of the Muerg, while Adam destroys anything moving across its surface. As they approach the creature's head, fragments of debris are pulverized in the creature's slipstream. When they arrive at the Muerg's head, Stratus is surrounded by 3 enormous enemy combatants. These invaders are different to Adam. They remind him of the creatures in the containment vaults. This enemy emits an irregular energy pattern, which he is informed disperses kinetic energy. Stratus is back up to full strength. Shards of dynamic gel rip apart the closest enemy combatants. Adam lands next to Stratus, and together they unleash a combined attack, decimating the advancing enemy. The force is so great that it cracks the lens over the behemoth's eye. Then Ember releases her most powerful attack into the Muerg's wound. A blast of plasma fire sears into the Muerg's eye. The monstrosity's cries can be heard halfway around the world. The Muerg fights hard to sustain flight. It begins to fly in an uncontrollable and erratic pattern. The creature's form is susceptible to matter manipulation. The combined power of Stratus, Ember, and Adam is too great, and the creature's eye oozes blue liquid. Its body shakes violently. There is a limpness that travels the length of the massive beast as it bellows out in pain. The creature's massive form begins to roll upon itself as it loses consciousness and becomes a slave to gravity. The 3 Galaxians are barely fazed by the combined attack and engage our heroes. While Ember and Adam engage the Galaxians, Stratus takes advantage of the Muerg's wound and expands a shard of dynamic gel into the monster's eye. The beast wails in agony. Its high-pitched cries echo around the planet. In the distance, more Galaxians are inbound. The team will soon be overrun by destroyers of worlds. Only physical combat is effective against the Galaxians. Each team member will need to engage with serious caution. Even while the Muerg spasms from its near-fatal injury, a battle of survival is taking place. Ember and Stratus work well together. Adam, not so much. As the Muerg continues to fall in an erratic manner, the creature begins to roll into a spinning dive. Its trajectory will ultimately end with crashing on land. Adam personally lacks the knowledge embedded in the Imperial Codex. He hesitates and telegraphs his attacks. It continues to cost him greatly. His defensive tactics cause too many mistakes, giving the Galaxian an opportunity to corner him. The monster delivers a barrage of punches, smashing Adam repeatedly along the surface. Reflexively, Adam releases discharge after discharge in an attempt to obliterate the alien. His fight-or-flight instincts have kicked in, and the Galaxian won't stop. He wishes he could fly, but not really. With his teammates occupied, he inevitably succumbs to the invaders' NZ field. Friction, U.S. Interstate 95, 95 South, Philadelphia, Earth. Friction left the UN building on a mission to protect the Earth from alien invaders. She knows the human race is in for an unprecedented fight for its existence. When the invasion begins, there is mass hysteria in the streets. With her newfound speed, Friction witnesses more humans slaughtered in a few seconds than anyone else on the planet. The enemy fall from the sky by the thousands, as far as the eye can see. Buildings lay in ruins from the invaders as they burrow through everything looking for sustenance. The Bakrata consume anything composed of organic matter, including inanimate objects with stored energy, wood. There's only anarchy and chaos in the streets. Small factions of military forces attempt to protect civilians not armed with impact armor. Friction expands her temporal field and engages the enemy. Each punch she delivers to an enemy combatant is equivalent to the impact of a tank shell. Invaders become projectiles as fragmented pieces impale others of their kind. As Friction darts across the state of New York, she travels south along Interstate 95. She destroys thousands of enemy invaders by the time she reaches Philadelphia. Every pocket of enemy warriors Friction encounters are quickly destroyed, and thousands of lives are saved. She smiles as those who didn't initially believe race to activate their impact armor. Friction knows there will be losses to humans, but she will do everything in her power to try and save them all. An image she will never forget causes an involuntary moment of paralysis. Her heart drops into her stomach as meat and bone drip from an invader's jaws. The creature ravenously scoffs a carcass that was once a human being. Her young and innocent eyes witness a sight she can never forget. It is as if a switch is turned on in her brain. The invaders are truly eating people. Her childhood outlook on life has finally come to an end. She will forever be scarred by the visual images of half-eaten people. The shock of witnessing something so heinous instantly enrages her innocent mind, establishing a permanent memory for triggering raw hate. The hate for the enemy swells deep within her. An empathic agony fills her soul, and she exterminates the invaders with extreme prejudice. As the bioengine inverter expands the temporal field, friction interrupts the natural flow of ambient energy, absorbing every iota of raw energy until she explodes into a kinetic force of unimaginable brilliance. That destructive force is aimed at the invading enemy. It happens faster than a human eye can blink. To the human eye, there is a flash of light, and then dead aliens fall from the sky. As friction completes the temporal shock effect, the U.S. Air Force arrives to aid and assist. The attack drains a lot of energy, giving friction only moments to recover. The arriving jets didn't fare too well against the enemy. They are easily destroyed. After the last missiles are fired, the jets are practically useless. The aircraft begin to fall from the sky as enemy forces rain havoc on them. The pilots ejecting are in serious trouble. They're easy pickings for the invading enemy. Friction is still incredibly fast without her temporal field, so she runs in the direction of the jets. With ambient energy rushing back into the vicinity, the bioengine inverter absorbs ample energy to activate her temporal field. As the field expands, friction increases her speed. Using the microparticles in the sky, she runs into the sky to assist the jet fighters. Unbeknownst to friction, a falling Galaxian lay in her path. Still recharging from her ultimate attack, the creature quickly dispels the last of her energies. This is Friction's first time experiencing the NZ field. By the time she realizes what's happening, it's much too late for her to react. Orb Wielder, you are mine. Friction's lack of experience with NZ energy gives the Galaxian an advantage. She immediately pays for her ignorance as the Galaxian connects with its twin-bladed weapon. The blades tear through Friction's exoskeleton, ripping shards from her armor. She screams from the pain. The impact sends her body careening across the sky. The Galaxian sneak attack leaves her weak and delirious. Enemy combatants continue attacking as her body rapidly descends to the surface. She prays not to lose consciousness as she attempts to fight against her attackers. The path of damage stretches several hundred meters long. A single hero, bruised and battered, continues to fight those invading her world. Friction locates temporary shelter to give the orb precious moments to recharge. Though she heals fast, her abdomen continues to leak life energies. The invaders are everywhere she looks. They continue to press their advantage from the sky. Even though she is badly wounded, Friction is not an easy target. From behind cover, she pummels the enemy with large rocks. The projectiles impact with extreme accuracy and super speed. As the orb begins to recharge, the Galaxian lands in the distance. The creature has come for her. Only one of them will leave this fight alive. Aisida and Adam. Muwerg, head. Ventura, Italy, Earth. Hundreds of Bakrata warriors swarm his position. Adam is not handling the situation very well. A monstrous insect, a Galaxian, roars at him. It makes noises Adam can't understand, so Aisida translates. Orb Wielder, you are mine. He has been physically bonded to an AI. Aisida helps him access the bioengine inverter's capabilities. Adam turns to see a massive shadow in a distorted field. Adam, defend yourself! He instinctively discharges several blasts of atomic energy. The dampening field inhibits kinetic energy. A physical assault is required. Adam has issues combating giant alien bugs. It's something he needs to surpass, or this will be his last day living. Without the Imperial Codex, Adam lacks the neurostimulant, which grants access to the fusion. It neutralizes any chemical reactions that produce fear or anti-courageous impulses. It further stimulates and supercharges the adrenal glands, imbuing the Harbinger with intestinal fortitude to face any adversary. If Adam could have run from this fight, he would have. The AI which is bonded with him allows Adam to receive second perspective knowledge. According to Adam, that's not even the worst of it. He recently discovered that Aisida has been upgraded with character modifications, free will, from an angelic celestial inhabiting the bioengine inverter. So not only is he unaware of half the things going on, he has to fight on the front lines. Hence, he's in a living nightmare. The alien insect terrifies Adam. It's built like a walking tank. Hesitations have allowed the creature to back him into a corner. Adam! Aisida echoes in his head. Her warnings come too late. The beast is in mid-swing. Even though he sees the attack coming, the NZ field and hesitations slow his reaction time. Incoming! Evade! An exotic mace slams into his face. He'd be dead if not for the Q-Quartz mask. Adam falls apart like cheap paper towels do when drying your hands. The force of the mace sends his body ricocheting through huge epidermal depressions along the Muwerg surface. Adam! Adam! Isida calls to Adam. He's momentarily dazed and in much need of a recharge. He struggles against losing consciousness. To sleep means to die. The Galaxian snatches Adam by his head and repeatedly slams him into the Muerg's surface. While Adam is bludgeoned by the mace, the creature's NZ field denies him ambient energy. The damage we have sustained, it's disrupting my digital data matrix. Fighting that thing is like fighting underwater. It has 4 fists that keep hitting me. The Galaxian can be easily unbalanced by using the creature's momentum against itself. Before Adam can recover from the hammering fists, again the mace slams into his body. The blow almost sends Adam into the Muerg's slipstream. Thankfully, he crashes into the Ventura's harness assembly. There is a gaping hole in his exoskeleton from the Galaxian's mace. Adam is barely clinging to consciousness, and the Galaxian continues closing in on him. He only needs a few seconds to recover, but the creature doesn't respond to timeouts. Out of the corner of Adam's eye, he watches his teammates do some amazing things. Ember and Stratus are extremely skilled and highly trained in the art of fighting. Everything around Adam seems to go black for a second. Thoughts of his first night at Oktoberfest deliriously flash in and out of his mind. He didn't win the battle that night either. The exoskeleton has been penetrated. We cannot withstand much more. The creature's rampage must be stopped. That's easy for you to say. It's up to me to stop this thing. Where's the we now? We are embedded 12 feet into the Muerg's harness assembly. Energy cells are at 35% and charging. I'm so tired of getting my butt kicked. I don't even think I'm scared anymore. Show me where that thing is. Oh, and any recommendations? The Galaxian is plated in trilithium. Intel reveals Galaxians must be physically overpowered. Kinetically channeled energy is easily negated by the enemy's armor. Quantum quartz is the only known substance capable of damaging trilithium. Recommendation: concentrate all efforts at the creature's joints, and maybe we can stop getting beat up. And now you're making jokes. So headbutt it to death or take a chance of being swallowed. Great. Diffusion allows us to alter particles through the manipulation of atoms, which, if applied in a random sequence, may alter the density of the creature's armor. As Adam pulls himself through layers of honeycombed harness assembly, Isida displays the Galaxian's position to him. Focus, Adam. We got this. Again with the we. Oh, and I used us earlier. Did you miss that too? Your attempts at humor are failing miserably. How about focusing your attention on this fight? My data matrix momentarily destabilizes each time you receive physical damage. What will you do if I'm temporarily shut down? We and us, and now you're referring to yourself as I'm? You're gonna have to bring me up to speed about the new updates. When Adam finally pulls himself free of the harness, the Galaxian attempts to kick him, the creature's foot just barely missing Adam's face. If it would have connected, Adam would probably be headless. With lightning speed, Adam blocks the attack, the surface nearly giving under the impact. Increased power output, NZ field depleting charge. Still hanging onto the creature's leg, he smashes the Galaxian's leg with atomically charged fists. The creature screams out in agony. High-pitched noises ring in Adam's ear. The beast savagely biting and growling at Adam as he holds the Galaxian's leg. Orb wielder, I will flay the meat from your brittle calcium stick. I think you heard him that time. Good job. With the creature wounded, Adam is able to pull himself clear of its NZ field. The feedback from our punch has splintered multiple fractures in the creature's armor. While the Galaxian shrieks from its wound, Adam underestimates the enemy and vengefully attacks. Jumping back into the NZ field, Adam smashes the Galaxian between its antennae. The creature shrugs the punch and counters with a backhanded slap. Human error. That's not funny. You need to give the fusion sufficient time to recharge, then use your atomic fist to breach the creature's armor. Watch out, incoming attack. Isida echoes an early warning, giving Adam sufficient time to roll with the attack. He needs to absorb more energy if he is going to put this enemy down. The creature's leg is severely damaged. This may give Adam an upper edge on the beast. Adam, we are experiencing an exoskeletal breach, redistributing power relay functions, redirecting auxiliary power output to exoskeletal breach. Thank you, my side is killing me. Multiple incoming targets will soon overrun our position. We need to destroy those targets and clear some space. Quickly grabbing the Galaxian by its wounded leg, Adam throws it into the oncoming horde with all his strength. The creature crashes into the horde. The Bakrata reinforcements are scattered into the slipstream. Isida delivers a quick warning to the team, while Adam sends a destructive shockwave across the surface of the Muerg. As quick as Adam mows them down, the mindless invaders are replenished. The Presages. Omnidimensional Scar. Cosmic Tentacle. Extended Feeler. Entro P. SU.01Q-00. When the universe was created and the dimensional boundaries shaped, the first life form is allowed to flourish unmolested. This enigmatic creature lives instinctually and is stimulated by hunger. The organism begins to consume all around it. The life form continues to grow for millions of years until it consumes the celestial foundation where it was conceived. The life form has now achieved a planet-sized stature, but is still a slave to instincts and hunger. It continues consuming planets, stars, and solar systems until it devours its galaxy. Only then does it begin absorbing quasars, black holes, and superclusters, until there is nothing left in its dimension. There is only dimension SU.01Q-01, or there is simply the void. Yet a creature of instinctual behavior and insatiable hunger remains. There is nothing in this place, nor has there been anything to consume, and entropy is alone. Entropy inevitably grew until it reached the dimensional barrier. The celestial entity experiences new sensations. It has never encountered a substance it could not consume. The dimensional barriers are composed of a crystalline substance that cannot be breached. Thousands of years later, the creature realizes there is no escape. Billions of years later, entropy begins to evolve. It has learned to sift the edges of the void for lost souls. These souls are rare and difficult to seduce, but they can generate sustenance. Only a few souls have managed to survive within entropy. The presages are unique and parasitic in nature. They share a symbiotic nature with entropy. These entities have been granted dimensional immunity and assist entropy in tempting lost souls for sustenance. They have been able to keep entropy sated with souls. It is the only reason they are allowed to exist and resonate within dimension SU.01Q-01. Several weeks ago, beings greater than human conspired to change all that has been written. The dimensional barriers near an omniversal star are targeted. Omniversal stars shine their light across multiple dimensions simultaneously. In dimension NU.9K-AC, a black star known to its inhabitants as Acubens is one of those stars. There is only darkness, and it is everything until the smallest sliver of light leaks into its dimension SU.01Q-01 trillions of years later. Something universally catastrophic has occurred. A great force has ruptured the omniversal barriers. A massive celestial crack has splintered across the universe's dimensional barriers. These interdimensional fragments have caused several breaches in the barriers leading to paradise. Entropy is aware of something new again. It brings new sensations after billions of years. The excitement wakes the presages, vile souls that blindly obey their host's bidding. These 6 heralds are tasked to enter the fragmented crystalline breaches. They have been tasked to recon and report back to entropy. As the celestial essence reaches into the unknown, it releases the presages into the breach. The presages are independent-minded, but they work together like a school of fish. To mortal beings, they are merely unstoppable, resonating at a higher frequency than the physical plane of existence. The presages travel deep into the dimensional cracks, always in the search for sustenance. As they seep deeper into the breach, the presages spill out into a place between dimensions. They smile, knowing they have located sustenance here. Radiance snatches the core from a star and sends it to entropy. The star's destruction causes a series of events that will jeopardize and ultimately cause the destruction of paradise. Icida and Adam, Muerg Thorax, Ventura, Spain, Earth. Move to the right! As Adam dodges multiple blasts of incoming laser fire, a wave of Bakrata warriors storm the team's position. Thank you, Adam thinks as he takes advantage of Icida's early warning alerts. Thousands of aliens continuously attack, engaging the heroes with acidic spit and NZ-based weaponry. Their strategy is to overrun an adversary with sheer numbers, keep coming until the enemy is dominated. Even as the heroes continue to repel the advancing horde, Adam inquires about reinforcements. Where's the rest of the team? The team will be here shortly, Adam. A Galaxian intends to flank us from the left. The Bakrata warriors unleash an overwhelming barrage of laser fire. The anti-energy sears into his exoskeleton and achingly burns. He can't absorb this type of energy. Analysis confirms that the enemy's artillery is composed of irradiated forms of NZ composite material. I could care less what it's made of, Icida. Why does it burn so bad? The antimatter particles become extremely corrosive when exposed to positive energy or matter. The NZ projectile becomes superheated, burning through most known matter upon impact. so don't get hit. Sarcasm again? You should get down. When Adam opens his eyes, there are two Galaxians approaching his position. The sight nearly scares him to death. Adam quickly evades his pursuers. They're too much for him to handle alone. He's in desperate need of backup. When did you say the team was coming? Soon, Adam. Stratus is below you. The Galaxians make their move, each emitting a kinetic draining NZ field. While the team is busy bringing down the Muwerg, the Galaxians inevitably cornered the heroes. They will soon be overcome by the Galaxians' NZ fields, robbing our heroes of life-sustaining ambient energy. Adam, behind you! The warning comes late, and Adam screams out in pain. The damaged section of his exoskeleton blisters as it leaks a liquid-like energy. Karma, Hudson Bay, Canada, Earth, Milky Way Galaxy, PU.432-00. As Karma stands at the bow of the yacht, an inquisitive child approaches her. She is very young and small to Karma. The child's questions are about her skin color, lilac. Karma is instinctively empathic, and she feels the child's innocence and curiosity. Karma can also feel the uncertain and cautious reaction of the child's mother. While Karma notices the physical differences in humans, she is mentally overwhelmed by a sudden and intense sense of fear. The terror is so strong it knocks the wind from her lungs. It causes Karma to collapse and fall to one knee. Once she catches her breath, she attempts to identify the cause of the intense fear. The people on the yacht point into the sky. Huge carnivorous insectoids descend from the heavens. Karma focuses her will and summons the enchanted soul blade. It does not cut a person's physical form. It can, however, inflict great harm on a person's spiritual cohesion. When one of the insectoids lands on the yacht, it grabs one of the people aboard. Even as the creature opens its mouth to devour, Karma's sword swings through the creature's arms. It drops the humans and its limbs fall to its side. They have been severed from the creature's soul. The limbs will no longer work in the physical world. Another swing of the sword and the creature falls to the deck. Karma has severed the soul's head from the alien's body. The insectoid's body still lives, though the brain is near dead. Karma yells at the passengers aboard the ship. "Get back, mortals! These creatures are otherworldly!" With a tap to the amethyst power stone, she is garbed in the Phantom Cloak. The Phantom Cloak is composed of M material. It is a frequency-defying substance that allows the wielder to dimensionally shift. Her cloak, hood, and mask expand around her form. Now she is prepared to deal with the enemy. The insectoids in close proximity of the yacht attack without mercy. Karma defends the humans from the invaders. She valiantly fights to protect their lives. The passengers believe Karma is an enhanced human. They believe she's here to protect the planet. The humans' combined terror becomes psionic energy which surges through Karma, empowering her with greater than Piscean strength and abilities. It also fuels the order and chaos magic flowing through her veins. The yacht hits the docks traveling at 12 knots. It nearly capsizes when it slams into the beach. Only Karma's magic keeps the yacht from flipping. She leaves herself open while protecting the yacht and is blasted by an enemy's weapon. She is blown from the yacht and the invaders are waiting, and in seconds they are upon her. Quickly again summoning the Soul Blade, she leaves enemy warriors littered across the beach. Several people on the yacht attempt to flee, but the insectoids are everywhere and they do not survive. For those still aboard the yacht, Karma takes a moment to cast a protection spell. The spell reverses the passengers' recent injuries, but they are still in serious danger. Without the bands of order and chaos, Karma's magic is much weaker in Paradise. She can only cast one spell at a time and must relinquish her weapon. It's as if she's been reduced to a mage. She can no longer feel the connection to Pisces. She doesn't even know if Pisces still exists anymore. The bands must be found so that she may return. Karma moves without fear and engages every creature attacking Paradise. People hysterically scream and topple one another as they seek shelter. She appears as a phantom, devastating the enemy. When a much larger insectoid lands near Karma, she notices it emits a dampening field that consumes organic life forms when in close proximity. Shift, Nambucca Heads, Southern Hemisphere, Southeast Coast, Australia, Earth. Shift can become any life form saved in the life's genetic archive, gaining instincts and historical knowledge of each life form. She can also manipulate the size of an organism's dimensions, allowing her to combine multiple species into an amalgam creature. She can reach sizes as large as a blue whale. Shift can also shrink to near microscopic sizes like a flea. Since Intech bested the Galaxian she fought in her first battle, Shift has eagerly awaited a chance at redemption. She is now able to sync a Galaxian's genetic sequence. This has granted her access to the Bakrata Relay Exchange. Shift knows the enemy's mission and how they think. The hive mind allows the Bacrata to share knowledge instantly. It is how they were able to conquer other worlds. Shift isn't going to allow this enemy to win. She possesses the abilities of every species of life on Earth. A one-woman army that attacks with the ferocity of Earth's entire animal kingdom. Shift shares the most lethal, vicious, and ravenous animals of Earth with the invading enemy as she annihilates their forces. The invading warriors are impaled, ripped, and crushed until nothing remains. No enemy faced today will depart this battle alive. She is virtually unstoppable. The enemy falls before her assault until a Galaxian advances on her position. She will not underestimate this creature again. She is ready this time. The bioengine inverter has unlocked a fallen Galaxian's genetic code. The creature roars at Shift, demanding she turn and fight. Orb Wielder, you are mine. It is time for your essence to ascend. This battle will not last long. The Galaxian beats the ground and stomps its feet, lashing out with a swivel axe. The creature challenges Shift to a death duel. She immediately morphs into her version of a Galaxian, with 4 arms and 2 massive legs. She stands 9 feet tall in a kinetic reflective Galaxian armor. She is armed with a Q-quartz-tipped bladed staff. Immediately, the exchange is accessible to her. Shift is now aware the Titan shields are down. Shift's new antennas stiffen as she braces for battle. The remaining Bacrata warriors leave them alone to duel as they continue to ravage the surrounding lands. Shift and the Galaxian circle each other until the creature swings its swivel axe with deadly intent. She counters with the bladed staff. The NZ field has minimal effect against her Galaxian form. While Shift and the Galaxian fight, she cannot morph into an alternate form. Her reflective armor is the only defense she has against the creature's NZ field. The fighters are evenly matched, and neither combatant can gain the upper hand. Each has access to the Relay Exchange network, which typically provides the Bacrata with an advantage. While the battle wages on, the invading Bacrata continue to pillage and consume the planet. The greater population of Australia welcomed the impact armor when it was released to the general public. The majority of the people here are virtually invisible to the Bacrata, but there are civilians in need of her help. The Relay Exchange allows Shift to see what the enemy sees. The invaders are gaining a foothold on the planet. Soon there will be no stopping them. This battle must come to an end, soon. Taking advantage of her last counterattack, Shift propels herself high into the sky. The Galaxian attacks again and misses with the swivel axe as she descends from the sky with her weapon raised high above her head. The Galaxian launches itself skyward with legs powerful enough to crush tanks. The creature lashes out with the swivel axe again, Shift meeting the Galaxian's attack strike for strike. Finally, Shift receives an opening. She swings the bladed staff with all her might and slices completely through the alien. She watches as the creature's severed head falls from its body. The impact releases a shockwave of kinetic force. It can be felt several miles away. There is a sudden and massive surge of instinctual prey-like impulses that explode across the Relay Exchange. The shock of a Galaxian so easily bested in battle ensues a massive feedback, causing disruption to the commander's influence over the Relay Exchange. Every Bacrata across the planet experiences the violent feedback, including Galaxians and Shift in her current form. The pain is excruciating and nearly causes Shift to lose consciousness. She reverts back to normal with what strength she possesses, and pulls herself from the fallen Galaxian's NZ field. All Bacrata on the planet Earth immediately flee from Shift's position. Something has changed within the invaders. Even in her normal form, she can hear alien words lingering in the wind. Ticha Ketra, Destroyer's End.
Taste my steel.